So this now takes us to Mr. Edinson Cavani. Edinson Cavani. We hear that Cavani might be joining Man United. So he might be joining Man United, and this is going to be sealed very soon. But I don't want to talk about the transfer specifically with United. I want to talk about Cavani. I want everyone to give their thoughts on Edinson Cavani. It's so funny. When I was doing the Chelsea post-match stream, I was saying to myself that, you know what? I would actually like to have Cavani as Chelsea, because this is what Cavani is. Because it's so funny. People, when I say that, oh my gosh, Cavani, good goal scorer, great goal scorer, all sort of, and he has scored goals in everywhere he's at, people now show me these different clips of him missing. And sort of, I'm like, you're showing me arbitrary games of where he missed in 1 or 2, 3 games. Are you not going to tell me his goal record for PSG? Are you going to tell me his goal record for Napoli? Are you going to tell me his goal record and assists for Uruguay since 2010? Cavani isn't a... That's why I never put Cavani in the same category as Benzema, as Lewandowski, as these guys. These guys are at the very top of the totem, but these guys are at the very height. But in terms of just getting goals, finding a way to get goals and having a natural eye for a goal, Cavani is pretty damn good at doing that. So I don't know what people are smoking there. So I want us to really have an honest Cavani discussion of where do you guys rank him? How would you view him as a striker right now in 2020? And would you take him if your club needed a striker? So Hakim, sorry, thank you for the super chat. He says Depay and Owa are staying at Lyon, confirmed today. Oh, wow. I mean, look, the transfer window closes on Monday. And also Leon, that guy, our last, whatever his name is, he's a very, very hard guy to negotiate with. So,
yeah.
So there was no chance of that getting it done by Monday, no way. So yeah, I guess, you know, Griezmann and Coutinho wouldn't be sweating too much. So Jamal, Cavani, man, how do you view Cavani as a striker? And if your team needed a striker, would you take Cavani in 2020?
Yeah. So first I'm gonna talk about Cavani's career, and then I'm gonna talk about this move to Manchester United.
Mm-hmm.
Cavani is a world-class striker. He gets disrespected a lot because of what happened at the Camp Nou. But because I think he missed.
But he still scored. He still scored at the Camp Nou. He still scored.
Yes, he still scored. But people blame him for that. And they also blame him because he played his best football in Uber Eats and for PSG. So when you're playing for PSG, they only judge you on the CL. And he hasn't really shown up in the CL. So that's why people disrespect Cavani. But guys, watch what he did for Uruguay in that 2018 World Cup. He single-handedly, well, not really single-handedly, but he scored the 2 goals.
Yeah, he scored the 2 goals.
Yeah. And he was injured. And that is why in the next round, I think they lost to France.
Yeah, France,
if Cavani played, who knows?
Who knows? That would have been a very interesting game. If Uruguay had Cavani in that game, it would have been a very interesting game.
Yeah. I still feel France are win, but guys, who knows? We will never know. Yeah, so Cavani is a world-class striker. And of his generation, I will put him top 5 strikers. Put some respect on Cavani's name. All right, on this move now, I give the man his respect. But in 2020, Edinson Cavani is finished. This is a horrible, horrible, horrible deal for Manchester United. This is Falcao, part 1. This is Falcao at Chelsea, part 2. And Higuain at Chelsea. How much times we see these old strikers come in the Premier League and try to hack it? Guys, Shevchenko, I think it's going to be like that. I think he's going to flop, to be honest.
Well, Mo, who is Football Hall member and he's a Man United fan, said 100,000 a week, rising to 200 for performance. For F's sake, it's a good deal. So why do you think it's a bad deal where they're not spending that much? It is not going to break the bank for them financially. They're not going to lose that much financially. How is this a bad deal?
Well, maybe it's not a bad deal in a business point of view, but I think, guys, the player, I think he's done. I don't think he's getting 10 goals. I think he's finished in 2020. And I could see this being a next Falcao. I really can. Or a next Higuain at Chelsea. I don't think he have the legs for the Premier League. That's just me. I think the only kind of striker like that who come into the Premier League was Zlatan. I think Zlatan was 36 when he went Man U, and he was good. But take out Zlatan. All these strikers who had a great career and come to the Premier League to retire, they have failed. So I'm just going by what I have seen, which was Falcao at Man U and Chelsea, and Higuain at Chelsea, and Shevchenko. They all flopped. So for me, I think this is a bad move for Man.
Wow.
But still
Okay.
respect on Cavani name. He's a top 5 strikers of his generation.
I have to think about that. I've got to think about that. I've got to think about that. Saeed, this is your club, man. This is your club. So first of all, talk to me about Cavani. Do you feel he's getting disrespected? And is this a good deal for your club?
Well, I do think he's being disrespected, but I don't know how I feel about this. Because I like Cavani. Let's be real. I like Cavani, but I think Cavani, Man United is not, in my opinion, would not be the best place for him to go to. If I'm speaking of Cavani's sense, like Cavani would have been perfect for Liverpool, which need a backup striker to Firmino. It would have been good for Chelsea. That probably needs an upgrade on Olivier Giroud or Tammy Abraham. But for Manchester United, I generally believe we have more pressing issues than Cavani. Cavani, I love him. I like him as a player, and I love to have him. But Manchester United, in my opinion, we need a center back. There's more priorities in different areas, and hence this is where me as a United fan and a lot of United fans are very frustrated.
So do you feel that you will get the goals with Martial, Rashford, and so forth? Do you think that you can get a good volume of goals with Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, and so forth?
Because I'm gonna be blunt with you. Cavani is a replacement for Igalo. Igalo has been trash since the restart. We need a backup striker. That's a fact. That's where Cavani fills the void. But the problem is Manchester United as a team, our squad depth is so thin that one injury to Martial, one injury to Rashford, then Cavani has to play 40 games. And then you're expecting Cavani at this age, and he hasn't been playing a lot of football because I don't know when's the last time he played football, but at his age, you're expecting him to come in and pretty much score the goals for Man United in case one of our strike forces of Rashford, whatever, one of us gets injured. That's a big ask. That's really a big ask.
So you wouldn't take Cavani in 2020. You wouldn't take him for free. You wouldn't take him for free.
I would take Cavani if Manchester United's team was complete. If we had a better
okay. As of right now, the way United are right now, you're saying you wouldn't take Cavani for free.
I just feel like
it's a yes or a no. Right now, how United are, would you take Cavani for free? Yes or no?
If I'm being 100% honest, yes, because we need players. Let's be honest. Man United people need players. We don't have quality. Daniel James is not good. But Pereira, he's left. Lingard is not good. Igalo, I mean, it was fun while it lasted, but nah, he isn't it. We need players. So I would take Cavani because that's the only thing we can take. That's the only thing we could possibly take.
Okay. What's it called? Actually, let's bring in this dude. I'm Ham. How do you rate your boy Cavani? Does he get disrespected? How would you rate him as the strikers of his generation? And for United, would this be a good signing for United?
Man, HH, I want to say so much because the topics you've went through today have been so good. But let me just stick to the point. Look, Cavani is a good player. Like, I'm sure someone said he was top 5 of his generation, and I agree with that because, like, even Suarez at his best was competing to get this guy like away from the main striker position. So we know how good he is at his best. But I think it's time for him to go. Like, Man United, what are they looking at this transfer for? If you're talking to me about a player who is gonna help some of the young players get better, who's gonna help communicate with the players, like how to handle certain game situations, then sure, I would say yes. But this is not that Cavani though. I feel like this is a completely different, wrong country for that if it was. So I'm looking at Man United and I'm just laughing. I'm not gonna lie, because Man United is a joke. I don't even know what Ole is trying to do.
So,
All I've been hearing from.
So you don't think that Cavani will make any kind of impact in the Premier League in 2020?
These guys have bought Igalo, Van der Beek, and now Cavani. I think that's 3 strikers, and they've been telling us that their 2 strikers are the best strikers in the Premier League. So I don't know what to think, because how are they even gonna play? You've got Gunsmoke, who's coming up, who you would expect needs game time, even if it's not every match, but a lot of game time. So, and you've got Van der Beek, who they just bought for 50 million. We don't know how much game time he's gonna get. And you've got Igalos, but okay, Igalo, he can go. Okay, they can displace him. But now you add Cavani to this mix, and I'm like, what are you trying to achieve? Because he's not gonna get you anything that much greater than Igalo, to be honest. Igalo, at least you can say he's used to the Premier League. He knows what the Premier League is about. This guy knows nothing about the Premier League, and we know from past that some strikers, like when they come to the Premier League, especially when they're not at their peak physical condition, they struggle. So I don't know what Man United is smoking.
So you're saying Cavani won't G up or get goals, even though he's gotten goals for Napoli, for PSG, for Uruguay, he won't do anything.
Getting goals in Uber Eats is one thing. What has Cavani done for me in Europe lately? He's done nothing. So why would I be impressed by someone scoring in Uber Eats? You know, who's this guy, Pepe? There's a Pepe character that was scoring there, and we were all hyped. Even me, for Liverpool, I wanted him at my team, but we see what it is. We know with Higuain, what happens. We've seen this, so I'm not going to be surprised when this ends with nothing. And I'm just laughing at Man United. Man United, please just keep Oli and Woodward in. Please do that for me. I love it. Okay, you guys are doing amazing.
All right. Ahmad, Cavani, man. Are people disrespecting Cavani's name?
Yo, no one's disrespecting Cavani, man. Like, bro, I saw someone say, Zlatan scored more goals in the EPL when he was older. Like, bro, Zlatan and Cavani aren't the same thing. And Cavani, bro, he hasn't done anything in the Champions League. You can say all you want about it. But HH, you're the one that calls it the Uber Eats, bro. You call it the Uber Eats, my guy. Every single time, Uber Eats. So what's going on, bro? And like, yo,
it's Ligue 1. No, after this CL, it's called Ligue 1. Have some respect. It's called after what Lyon and PSG did, it's called the Ligue 1.
Yeah, but I don't know like what direction Man U are taking though. Like what's the point of being Cavani? You're not going to get any titles in the next 2 years. What are you trying to do? And like Pogba's gonna leave either way, because Pogba needs to get some titles if he wants to be quote unquote better than De Bruyne, like you already say he is. And like, bro, Pogba needs titles. He hasn't won anything, except the World Cup, which is quite good, but he needs club titles as well. So, bro, like, what's going on?
So what do you think Cavani can do, man, then this season?
Cavani, I mean, I feel like he can score 15 goals. Like right now in 2020, I don't think Cavani's a top 10 striker, but of his generation, I think he's a top 10. Yeah. He's not top 10. Right now in 2020. In 2020, he's not, but of his generation, he is.
Okay, sorry, Jamal, you were saying something?
I said in 2020, he's not a top 10 striker. But
no, sorry. I forgot to mute my mic.
Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna say, HH, what's the least you want from CFC this season? A trophy. If not that, CL semis or runners up in the Premier League. At the very minimum, runners up Premier League, semis in the CL. But ideally, I want either the Premier League, the FA Cup, or the CL. Damian Perez, man, talk to me. Cavani, man, are people disrespecting Cavani's legacy?
I don't think they are. He has been consistent over the years. he scored goals for Napoli, PSG, and I think it was Palmero. I think that was the other club he played for. Name was. He's definitely a top 10 striker of his generation, but I think right now he is declining a bit. Last season I think he scored like 1 goal in like 10 games, which is not really good. And yeah, I don't think people are disrespecting him. I think it's just I don't know.
So in 2020, do you think it's a good idea for United to take him, or you think he's washed in 2020?
I suppose it's a good move because it's a better option than Igalo, and he'll give them probably like 10 goals this season, if that. But I don't really expect much from Cavani, to be honest, this season.
Okay. Darren, Cavani, talk to me. Oh, sorry. I think I always put this guy on mute. All right, we can hear you now. Go for it.
This with Cavani, I guess this might sound a bit controversial. My opinion's quite divided on him, but I'll address like Cavani and then if it's good for Man U in 2 separate points. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Cavani, his legacy, he deserves like the respect. Yeah. He's been a prolific striker over his career. I think his best sort of period was probably his seasons at Napoli. And then he had one really outstanding season with PSG. But for me personally, how I rate Cavani, I sort of categorize him with like Higuain and Benzema. More with Higuain. Like they've both had great sort of legacies. But for me, both of these guys, they are bottle jobs to me. I've seen them miss. Like when you look at a striker, and you see them miss clear, like it's reminiscent of, as a Chelsea fan, looking at like Morata. Obviously, it wasn't that bad, but Morata missing so many chances.
Morata was bad.
But like I seen Cavani miss like so many chances, and like as Jamal said earlier, like it was that game against Barcelona where they missed. Obviously, got the comeback. I know he did score that goal. But I remember that game. He missed like clear chances that he should have scored.
But my thing though is that's when you're reliant on him on getting the goals. But the fact of the matter is that you know that Rashford can score goals, Martial can score goals, and so forth. So he's just there to increase the goal ratio and the goal scoring of the team. So the thing with Cavani is that if you're reliant on him to get you your winning goal, then you're screwed. If he's just there to be a guy just to get a high volume of goals, but you have other guys who can score crucial goals, you're getting him out for free. It's free.
Yep. I agree. And that's where I think for Man U, it's a bit confusing because with Man U, their whole board, the direction of which they're going is confusing. Their signings, it doesn't make sense. I understand, and I feel for Man U. Even though I hate Man U, I feel for Man U fans because it's like, what are we actually doing? There's no direction. They've already got Igahalo, a backup striker. So now do they not need him now? And when they should have priorities elsewhere? Either way, I think for Man U though, regardless, getting Cavani in for free, I think it's a good deal. The guy, as much as he is the bottle job, and for me, I don't like rate him highly, he still is a decent striker, a striker with quality. He might struggle like how Higuain did and Falcao did in Premier League, but in that Man U team, if you got like, I'd say Man U does have a pretty potent attack. If you got all these guys around you and Cavani's in there just to put in a couple goals, I think it'll help. They've sold Lukaku and they haven't really replaced him since.
Yeah.
And I think the last season, I think Martial was their highest goal scorer with 23 goals or something. Lukaku, Man U fans didn't like Lukaku, but he had, I think, 27 in his first season. And Man U fans still didn't rate that. And you take away 27 goals.
They need those goals,
from the club. Exactly, you need the goals. So
they need those goals.
I get Man U fans might feel like it's this and that. But You get them goals in and see how many games across the season that would become results. So I think for Manu it'll probably be like not too bad. However, Ole, he's I don't know how Ole is as a coach.
No,
But AJ, can I say something real quick?
Wait. I'll come on to you. Let's just get through and then I'll come back to you. Yes, trust me, I'll remember. So raw football, give it to me for Cavani. Raw football. Okay. Stodge. Cavani.
Yeah, Cavani. It was a good striker. He was a bad boy striker, top 10. But I just love Ed Woodward. He's a mate of mine. I love that guy. And
do you love him because you're a Liverpool fan?
He's a Liverpool fan. He's a Liverpool fan. That's what a lot of people don't know. Ed Woodward is a Liverpool fan. I'm telling people right now. He is a Liverpool fan. I mean, look what I'm gonna tell you. Look what this guy has done this summer. He is legendary. Listen to this. He gets rid of Sanchez. He pays Inter Milan 25 million euros for them to sign Sanchez. So he already cuts off the wage budget, the transfer budget. He's not going to sign Sancho or any other good players. He wasted on 50 million on a bench player in Van der Beek. And then guess what he said after he got rid of Sanchez? He said, there's not going to be any more Sanchez or Falcao deals. What does he do in deadline when it comes to deadline? Let's sign Cavani. Incredible. And I've got quotes from Cavani. This is what Cavani said in January. Listen to this. He said, if it were for money, this is the agent saying this, if it was for money, Eddie would have gone to England, Manchester United or Chelsea. So basically he's saying he's only going there for money. That's when he was close to signing to Atletico Madrid. And they're going to splash money on a guy that's disrespecting the club like this. He is a legend. They're going to pay the agent 10 million in fees. So they're not going to sign Sancho. And they're going to pay a guy to sit on the bench for 200K. He's a legend. Ed Woodward, stay in the job. You're a legend. He paid 85 million for Maguire. I mean, he hired Ollie. I'm sorry. As long as I'm concerned, this guy is a legend. He's a Liverpool fan. And keep destroying Manchester United Football Club. Keep on making other horrible signings.
Wow. All right, man. So, what have we been doing here? Aha, there we go. So.